In 1982, a standalone card game was released by Steve Jackson Games entitled Illuminati. Inspired by the 1975 book The Illuminatus Trilogy by Robert Anton Wilson and Robert Scheer, the game has ominous secret societies competing with each other to control the world through various means, including legal, illegal, and even mystical. Designed as a tongue-in-cheek rather than serious take on conspiracy theories, thus far we've witnessed a reactionary divide to real-life catastrophes and fictional foreshadowing. While the creators continually claim this is just a fictional game and doesn't have 1 ounce of truth to the cards or events depicted in the game, we know coincidences don't exist, specifically where the Illuminati is concerned. Either way, the mystery and yet at the same time the openness of the game has caused millions to question its meaning for nearly 4 decades. Then, in 1994, the same company released a collectible card entitled Illuminati New World Order, largely based off the 1982 release. Since then, there have been several expansion packs for both the original 1982 standalone card game and the 1994 collectible card game. Both versions feature hundreds of playing cards, many of which make reference to various conspiracy theories, ideas, and tropes. The gameplay of both games revolve around the notion of conspiracy, secrecy, and world control. Over time, the card game has gained considerable popularity with the growth of the truther communities and conspiracy theorists. While some believe the Illuminati are a singular group controlling all major corporations, supply chains, services, media houses, and political podiums, others are convinced that all branches of secret societies, such as the Freemasons, Order of Skull and Bones, Rosicrucians, Order of Elks, the Knights Templar, and the Bilderberg Group, to name a few, are in fact collectively referred to as the Illuminati, thus meaning, if you belong to any secret society around the globe, you are Illuminati confirmed. From what little we can tell from the information we are allowed to discover, since all include an oath to secrecy prior to joining, we could safely say that most secret societies are in favor of a new form of illumination. The mystery surrounding the Illuminati is precisely what makes this card game all the more interesting. Let's take a look at a few of the ominous game cards that have coincidentally foreshadowed newsworthy moments from our history archives. On September the 11th, 2001, 19 militants associated with the Islamic extremist group Al-Qaeda hijacked 4 airplanes and carried out suicide attacks against targets in the United States. The collision caused a massive explosion that showered burning debris over surrounding buildings and onto the streets below. It immediately became clear that America was under attack. The hijacked American Airlines Flight 77 sliced through the 3 light poles in the Pentagon's parking lot before slamming into the first floor of the building and exploding in a fireball, instantly killing 125 people inside the Pentagon, plus all 64 passengers on board, including the 5 hijackers. The oil spill happened on or about May 11, 2016, when Shell discharged crude oil into the waters of the Gulf of Mexico from its Green Canyon Block 248 offshore facility located on the Glider Field. The incident resulted in an estimated discharge of 88,000 gallons of oil into the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. In the early hours of 31st August 1997, Diana, Princess of Wales, died in hospital after being injured in a car crash in a road tunnel in Paris, France. Her partner, Dodi Fayed, and their driver, Henry Paul, were pronounced dead on the scene. Diana was 36 years old when she died. Her death caused an outpouring of grief in the United Kingdom and worldwide, and her funeral was watched by an estimated 2.5 billion people. Black Lives Matter is an international activist movement originating in the African American community that campaigns against violence and systematic racism towards black people. BLM regularly holds protests speaking out against police killings of black people and broader issues such as racial profiling, police brutality, and racial inequality in the United States criminal justice system. In 2013, the movement began with the use of the hashtag Black Lives Matter on social media after the acquittal of George Zimmerman in the shooting death of African American teen Trayvon Martin in February 2012. By the summer of 2017, the movement was getting significantly less attention, which some people attribute to Donald Trump's presidency dominating national headlines. While the Illuminati game card, Enough is Enough, doesn't really hint at any event in history, wouldn't you agree with me that this image does look quite a lot like President Trump? Also, the description of the card says, "At any time, at any place, our snipers can drop you. Have a nice day." While President Trump has exactly that authority and power in his hands, doesn't that sound like something he would say?
And we will say, enough is enough.
Another one that deserves an honorable mention is the charismatic leader card. Wouldn't you agree with me that it has an uncanny resemblance to a real-life photograph of President Trump? Moon landing conspiracy theories claim that some or all elements of the Apollo program and the associated moon landings were hoaxes staged by NASA. The conspiracy theorist card, more notable for the description it has, which says, "This powerless and much mocked group is prized by the Illuminati because their wild ravings often contain useful ideas." Population reduction is a very real topic that has made headlines around the globe. Many among the global elite believe that the growing world population is the number one problem facing the world. Many of them are absolutely convinced that overpopulation is a primary cause of climate change. The Georgia Guidestones, a granite monument erected in 1980 in Elbert County, Georgia, in the United States, contains a set of 10 guidelines inscribed in 8 modern languages. As part of the first of the new 10 commandments, it reads, "Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature." Bill Gates famously said, "The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's heading up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. Jacques Cousteau was a French naval officer, explorer, conservationist, filmmaker, innovator, scientist, photographer, author, and researcher who studied the sea and all the forms of life in water. He is quoted as saying, "In order to stabilize world population, we must eliminate 350,000 people per day." Coincidence? Maybe it could be, but personally, it's a no from me. The CDC is one of the major operating components of the Department of Health and Human Services in the United States. At this moment in time, the CDC is aggressively responding to the global outbreak of COVID-19 and the community spread in the United States. In other words, it's their moment to shine. Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, is famously quoted, "If I were reincarnated, I wish to be returned to Earth as a killer virus to lower human population levels." I'm not saying that these words are in any way connected, it's just a rather odd thing to say publicly, don't you think? Censorship is when an authority, such as a government or religion, cuts out or suppresses communication. This has been done wildly. There are many reasons to censor something, like protecting military secrets, stopping immoral or anti-religious works, or keeping political power. There are 4 types of censorship: withholding information, destroying information, altering information, and self-censorship. The ultimate in censorship in our modern times may be that of a government's ability to edit not only what is being said today and tomorrow, but also what is recorded or remembered to have been said yesterday, where news articles are written in a certain narrative ad nauseum, done to alter our perception and distract us from the truth.